We had received a mass casualty call. It came in over the radio that 2 patients who were essentially on death's door were going to be delivered, and they needed to divert the aircraft, which happened to be an American Osprey, from going to Baghdad directly to the World II Hospital, because our hospital was literally right beside the flight line, where we walked them on stretchers from the back of the aircraft right into the front door. We had the hospital completely full and ready for them, the entire operating suite prepared, so we didn't even stop with the stretcher on the way into the operating room, walking through the front doors. My job is to maintain and repair medical equipment, both on overseas operations and at home in our own Canadian Forces Medical Services clinics. For the first time, even after being in the CAF for about 7 or 8 years, I heard a heart rate alarm go off on a device when it was actually attached to a critical care patient. I heard the alarms on the device that I hear every single day, just testing them, actually going off because it was being used on someone, and it mattered. The doctors and surgeons had saved the patient's life. It was a complete success. They had prevented the patients from crashing, and they could now be transferred on to Baghdad for further medical care. So I got to watch and stand out front of the hospital at a C-130 from across the airstrip run up straight towards us, turn around, and then I was able to help load the patients into the back of the C-130, which was just the coolest. One of the most important things in a hospital, especially if you're running a field hospital, is ensuring that the most mission-critical kit that you have the fewest of is repaired. So you might have a Propac MD patient monitor, and we have about 10 of those in the hospital, but we only have 1 oxygen concentrator, we only have 1 or 2 x-ray machines. So if 1 or 2 of the x-ray machines go down, that's not something you can just simply swap out and put another one in place. We've only got 1, and when it's needed, it's absolutely needed at that time. For example, if the oxygen concentration device goes down and we can't bottle oxygen, suddenly we can't use our ventilators. Now the ventilator is useless because we can't deliver high purity oxygen to patients who absolutely need it because they're in that sort of trauma situation. If any of these pieces of the puzzle goes down, none of it works. So it's incredibly mission critical that we do our jobs and we do our jobs right. My mom used to bring home scrap electronics for me to take apart. So when I was in grade 2, she brought home a VCR and gave me a screwdriver. And I took it apart and brought it to school and showed everyone how the pulleys and the reader head and everything worked. Just because I thought it was neat and it was cool and, I liked it. But it's something I always loved. I love taking things apart, seeing how they work, and trying to understand the principles of operation, trying to tease that apart myself, because it's like a fun puzzle for me. And that slowly just sort of advanced. And I had the opportunity after high school to join a trade like biomedical electronics tech, and I figured it was a really good fit for me, and it absolutely was.